Today we're chatting with Heather Barklow as part of an ongoing series of interviews for Rocks Revolutionaries. Heather is involved in a number of activities and organizations throughout our community and is a perfect example of why we think rural rocks. Good afternoon, Heather. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks. I don't know about perfect example, but
If you would, tell us a little bit about your background and the path you've taken to be so involved in our community.
okay. Well, I actually did grow up in here in Douglas County and left for several years, part of which I was in school in Corvallis, and ended up moving back 3 years ago. But as far as my involvement with the rural community, I would say I grew up on a small farm. I was always involved in 4-H. My mom was and my parents and my family were very into volunteering and giving back to the community, so I think that example was really helpful. And then I've been involved in the horse industry and helping people with their horses, and I think that's it's just really grounding. And when I moved back to this area, I knew I would be wanting to continue with the horses, and I also had run a lot of programs, and I was perusing on Craigslist, and there was a position open as the farm market manager for a local farmers market here. I always supported the farmers markets, and now in my 4th season as the manager here coming up, it's taken on a life of its own. It's just it's something that I've become quite passionate about, and it's led to other opportunities and allowed me just to really reach out to a lot of people here in Douglas County, across the county.
So you grew up in Glide?
Yeah, I was born in Coos County, but then grew up in Glide, yeah.
So you're involved in the markets, and the markets have seen good growth. What can you attribute that to? And just your pleasant personality, the involvement of...
Well, I think it's a variety of things. When I started with the market 3 years ago, there was definitely room for growth. I know that part of the market success beyond me as the manager is that there's a lot of other supportive people who are really passionate about supporting local producers, local growers. I feel like there's a movement in general, not only here in Douglas County, but in all of Oregon, across the nation, just to get back to more simple living, know where your food's coming from, and also just supporting other local businesses beyond food products, but wanting to just help other small businesses in the area succeed. And for a couple years we just had rapid growth, up by 30 to 40% sales in my first year as a manager at the Umpqua Valley Farmers Market, and a momentum that we're gaining, I guess. Here in the area you're seeing small farmers markets pop up everywhere, and it's nice that I'm able to host workshops. If I'm not qualified maybe as an expert in some areas, then we have other people come in. We've had a lot of support from the Oregon Department of Agriculture. It's an overwhelming desire, I think, from a lot of different parties pulling together, just wanting to see these small farmers and producers succeed.
You always seem to be extremely optimistic. How does the rural lifestyle contribute to that?
Well, as I mentioned a little bit before with the horses, I think for me, happiness comes from being close to nature, and that grounds me. And I garden as well, and I believe that if you want to be a positive person, you need to surround yourself by positive people. And the people that I'm involved with at the farmers markets and my other line of work, it's kind of the cream of the crop. I mean, just in the way that they are happy because they're doing what they love, and I think that that's the big thing right there. Is that I guess I'm happy and I'm joyful because I do get to do what I love. I'm outside. I'm with good people. I'm doing something that I believe in, and I can see that it makes a difference. And it's the thank yous that you get, or the smiles and just the gratitude that really makes everything all worth it. We have all these resources right here in this area, and there's no reason that you need to travel out of the area to get them. There's so many there's thousands of options and different things that people could bring forward. There's always room. I don't really feel that there's competition. I think that there's a balancing that will happen, and that the more people that come forward and have, it's like if you build it, they will come. And so, the more vendors there are, then the more customers there are, and the more consistency there is with vendors as far as the local food movement and the farmers markets, then the more consistency there is with customers. But it's a balancing act.
Well, we do look forward to following your story and seeing what your next ventures will be, and appreciate you coming and sharing your story with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
My pleasure.